Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and there's a link to my Ko-fi account in the description. So if you're able to support the channel that way, it is greatly appreciated. So today we are back with some mono white tokens. So this is, if you've been around the format, you probably recognise this style of play. We have played it a couple of times on the channel already, but it's essentially a kind of enchantment-based token generating deck using things like Caretaker's Talent, Wedding Announcement, that kind of thing, Carrot Cake, to basically generate lots of cheap tokens and kind of just grind out the game that way. It's got Elspeth at the top of the curve, Beza, you know, all of the kind of the Wandering Emperor, all of the kind of the most famous token generators. Obviously, Caretaker's Talent is one of the kind of pieces of glue that holds the deck together, providing card draw whenever you have tokens enter, and also then copying them. So yeah, it's that kind of style of deck. You've probably seen it before. We do have a couple of additions from Edge of Eternities, which are Seam Rip, which is an early removal spell a la Portable Hold, does a very similar kind of thing, and then Pinnacle Starcage, which is sort of not quite as good as Temporary Lockdown, but in a deck like this, because it only exiles all artifacts and creatures with mana value 2 or less, then all non-land permanents, then it is actually slightly better because our mainly enchantment-based deck gets to dodge a lot of that removal. Now, it will still remove any of the creature tokens that we've already created, so that is worth bearing in mind, but you know, if we do have an Ossification, a Birth of Meletis, whatever it may be, a Seam Rip on the battlefield, then it's no longer, they won't be hit by the Pinnacle Starcage, whereas it still may be useful in cleaning up the opponent's aggressive starts. So yeah, we are running 3 copies of that as well. It's not an enchantment, it is in fact an artifact itself, but yeah, as I say, because it doesn't take enchantments, that it's got a kind of more use in this deck than Temporary Lockdown probably does. So yeah, Enduring Innocence as well, good source of card draw. Yeah, you've probably seen this card many times before. And yeah, we do, you know, wiping away our own creatures is something we do sometimes have to do in this deck. So as well as Pinnacle Starcage, we've got 3 copies of Dire Judgment. And then the 4 copies of United Battlefront, which lets us just go and grab 2 non-creature non-land permanents from the top 7. You know, there's a lot of good stuff that we might want to get. Caretaker's Talents, Wedding Announcements, Restorations, whatever it may be. So yeah, it's a Yorion deck as well, so it's 80 cards in the main board. I think it's about 33 lands, which should be sufficient as we are drawing our way through a few cards as well. 18 basic planes, a Blast Zone, some Field of Ruin, some Fountain Ports. Nykthos, which will occasionally come in handy. Combines quite nicely with Sunken Citadel, obviously. But yeah, we will often have quite a lot of white mana pips out on the battlefield, so maybe able to make use of that as well. And the sideboard, so we got 2 more copies of Get Lost. High Noon, which is just a good way of slowing down the opponent. Also that the kind of the 5 damage isn't in itself kind of a nothing, and we do have some ways of kind of turning that on, you know, putting a Sunken Citadel on red. You know, it's not impossible that sometimes we may use that. Very unlikely, but possible. Rest in Peace, good graveyard hate. Voice of Victory is a kind of hate bear, but also a mobilize enabler and a token generator. Even Mind Sensor, and then which shuts down the opponent searching their library, and Heliod's Intervention, which both can act as some life gain, but also some pretty mass, well, either targeted or mass artifact or enchantment removal. So yeah, that is the deck. Mono white tokens, as I say. We've played it before. We've got a couple of good new additions to it, which just help very much help it survive the early game against those more aggressive decks. And then we can kind of sideboard accordingly, depending on what it is we're playing against. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Let's take it on to the ladder. Ooh. It sounds very on the slow side. I mean, Pinnacle Starcage, I can't even cast it, to be honest. No, I think this is a mulligan. Okay, this is slightly better. I'll just put back Elspeth for now. Everything else has probably got a point to it. Yeah. Okay, well, at least we've got Baser, which is basically like anti-mono red win the game. Okay, right, well, let's nab their Heartfire hero now. Yeah, I mean, they've had pretty much the perfect start for a player running this deck, so... Yep, okay. Gonna be like that, is it? Yeah, there's not a huge amount you could do against an opponent who has that kind of start with this deck. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we were dead basically on turn 3 there. If I'd had Pinnacle Starcage, that might have been something, but not to be. Okay. I actually think we're reasonably well set up against Mono Red. We just can't survive that kind of draw when we don't have enough early interaction. But we know what we're up against now, so we can play accordingly. I think I'll stick in 2 more Get Losts in place of 2 Elspeths. And we'll just go from there. Okay, this is an actually keepable hand, so put back Wedding Announcement, and we'll just do maximum interaction until we can play Baser. Okay, let's get a Carrot Cake down. Give ourselves a Rarebit. Yeah, I'll keep a 4th land, I think that's good. Okay, it's fine. So I can seam rip that while still having access to my Carrot Cake. Now we have the interesting question of whether we actually want to pull the trigger on the Carrot Cake, because if I do, I go to 20, which means I don't get the life off Baser, but it's not mana efficient. But I think that's fine. Yeah, I think this is the better way of doing it. So yeah, we get 4 life and a card, which I think is pretty decent. And then we got a turn. We'll take a hit from the Nemesis this turn. Take a big hit from the Nemesis this turn. But then we can ossify it. No, they don't want me gaining any life. Okay, fair enough. I'm still on 13, though. So I'll ossify the Screaming Nemesis. Put Yorion in my hand. I mean, and I really haven't drawn very well at all, to be honest, and we're still in a reasonable spot, so... See, I'm drawing terribly, but... Okay. I need something else. Fair enough. Well, that's burn that didn't go at our face, so something to be grateful for. Bounce the carrot cake. Blink it, rather. Blink bounce. I always get those two mixed up. No, thank you. Could I stop drawing land now, please? Sack the carrot cake. Cool, cool. Let's see what we got. Shame about the seam rip. Never mind. Again, annoying, but they're still one turn away from dead here. Okay, they're not quite one turn away from dead, but they are now just top decking. Actually, they are still technically one turn away from dead with the Caretaker's talent. Okay, I admire their determination to stay alive. Now, how should we do this? I think let's do it this way. We get 2 cards out of this. Yep, seam rip's good. Take the 1/1. Cool. Okay, and yeah, we overdrew lands there, so it's not actually too bad. Yeah, there we are now on the draw, which will be difficult. Opponent has a god draw like they had in game 1. There is basically nothing you can do against mono red when it draws like that. Yeah, I think this will do. Okay, no Heartfire Hero turn 1 is tremendous news. Okay, let's take that out before they get any more value off it, or any value rather. No Monstrous Rage for once? Of course they have Monstrous Rage. Okay, Get Lost is a good draw. And I'm going to use it proactively before they can get any value off the Rock-Faced Village. What's that? Ember Heart number 3. Okay, I'll go to 6. And like it. There's another Get Lost. Yeah, am I willing to chill for a turn before Day of Judgmenting? I think so. So yeah, let's get rid of that. Late Birth. Grab a Plains. Okay. Well, not gaining life this turn, so let's just make a copy of our 0-4 and see if we can survive. Ah, God, not being able to... the auto-tapper screwed me there, didn't it? Yep. I wouldn't have made any difference, but... That's very annoying. Yeah, the opponent, yeah, just drew unbelievably well. Okay, it's not a keepable hand. This one just about is, because we're on the play. Okay, Watery Grave. Founding the Third Path. Interesting. What's the opponent got going on here? Tainted Indulgence. The land. Well, that doesn't tell us very much. So yeah, I could get rid of this. And that's a pretty mana inefficient turn. And I don't yet know what they're doing, so I think I'll just get Wedding Announcement down. Oh, they're targeting me. Okay, maybe they're just a mill deck then. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. Well, don't really have any good answers for what they're doing at the moment, so let's just Seam Rip, take the Founding before they can use it, play Caretaker's Talent. Yeah, I need some sort of answer for this Fraying Sanity. I mean, being a Yorion deck is not unhelpful in this situation, because we have 80 cards. Ossify does not deal with Fraying Sanity, but does deal with Rune Crab. So let's get rid of that. Attack for 2. Enduring Innocence. Oof. Oh god, now I just lose, don't I? Because this mills half my library. Or because I couldn't answer that flipping Fraying Sanity. Yep, okay. So, the opponent's on a mill deck, so I definitely want Heliod's Intervention, I want Get Lost. God, I've got so many answers for that bloody thing. I can't believe I didn't draw them. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's fine. Keeping Seam Rip, we'll keep an Ossification. Probably take out... Let's take out Birth and one Elspeth. Actually, I probably don't need Death Judgment, do I? Let's get rid of that. We'll keep Birth in just because it's a good mana fixer. Okay. Yep, this will do. Okay, let's that can go under a Pinnacle Starcage at some point soon. Aha. Okay. Well, I'll probably need Get Lost for that at some point. So yeah, let's... am I Starcaging now? I think that's fine, just to get rid of the crab. Again, this is actually a situation where temporary lockdown would be slightly better. Okay, oh, I've got to hold, sadly. Fine. Well, at least I can kill that before it attacks. So, no milling for me this turn. Right, let's try United Battlefront, shall we? The deck's trying my patience today. Of course. No, that's fun, because I can't answer any of your stuff anyway. Do any of these things help me? They do not. Well, I may as well do it anyway. I'll see rip away one of their map tokens, I suppose. I'm having one of those days, aren't I? So yeah, don't have an answer for fraying sanity despite my deck running so many of them. Yorion doesn't help. No? Okay. Okay. Tragic Poet, eh? What's this dude? Turn target. Okay. I never seem to have a huge amount of success with this deck, despite... I don't think I need that. Despite, I've seen other people use it to great success, but whenever I play it, it just never functions. To be fair, I have been pretty unlucky against opponents who have drawn very, very well. Okay, so the opponent's got some sort of Mardu Enchantments deck going on here. That's cool. Yeah, Hopeless Nightmare it is. I think I'll just ditch the Pinnacle Starcage here. Again, seem to, having put this card in my deck, seem to be just running against opponents who are playing lots of enchantments. So let's get Beza down, draws me a card. I think we will attack, just because their Wedding Announcement gives me a card rather than a token, and I think I would rather have the card at this point in the game. Okay, now we're building up to being able to cast Elspeth, which is pretty good. That flying mode on it is gonna probably come in quite handy. Okay, the opponent's holding on their upkeep, but I don't know what they're doing. Nothing. Yeah, restoration I can definitely live with. Okay. Yep. I think this is a fairly obvious move. Let's get Elspeth down. Just put them under a lot of pressure here. Okay. That's fine. So I take 7. I draw a card. Wedding announcement flips. Yeah, they can bring something back here. Yep, that's a neat little interaction. Scry 2 then. Well, draw 2 and then scry 2. Probably not quite as good that way around. Okay, that loan is not going to be enough. Okay, they got another torch. Fair enough. Yeah, they still need more though. Maybe another bandit's talent. It's interesting. I wonder if they'll bring that back. Yep. Yeah, I'll discard both my lands. Okay. So, I think you can Caretaker's Talent. God, this auto tap is an absolute villain, isn't it? It's just done it anyway. Yeah, because I can't pay for that using yeah. Okay, they get another turn. So I'm still presenting quite a lot of damage here. Good lord, what does this do? Okay. That's spicy. I've not seen that floating around before. Okay, let's start with the United Battlefront. Ossify the Hellkite. Then let's add some white mana. So 5 mana, so we can copy the token, draw 2 cards. No, they didn't want to see the rest. Okay, fair enough. I understand. Okay, so they're Mardu Enchantments. So Heliod's Intervention in. The other Get Lost definitely in. They were fiddling around with their graveyard quite a lot there, but I'm not sure enough to justify a rest in peace. Yeah, let's leave that out for now. Pinnacle Starcage felt pretty weak there as an answer to, again, just running into opponents, just running lots of enchantments. So yeah, let's just take out our rats. Because yeah, creature removal is probably not the best. Okay. Ossification only hitting creatures and planeswalkers is a little sad. It's close, this one. Yeah, these are good little interactions they've got going for themselves here. Double top. Well, no one wants to see that. Okay. I see your restoration of Iganjo, and I present you one of my own. Must be the only 2 players on the ladder playing this card, but... I'm just seeing they want the ramp rather than the Hopeless Nightmare. That I can live with. Okay, United Battlefront's pretty good. That's pretty bad. Yeah, that's rough. Okay, well, I'll do some ramping of my own then if I don't have anything I can hit with Ossification. Play an Enduring Innocence. Yeah, they got Torch the Tower. Yeah, Torch as an answer to Innocence is pretty good. Okay. Well, let's play another one. I'll ossify their Architect of Restoration. Now, if this survives the turn, combining it with Elspeth is pretty spicy. Okay, another Restoration's not too bad. So yeah, let's play Elspeth. Yeah, I'll take the trade. That gets rid of their thing. This comes back. So, what can we, yeah, they can bring back like a Nightmare or a Mirth. That's all pretty good. Yep. Sack their wall. Draw 2 more cards. And the Bandit's Talent. Okay, what am I going to keep? Am I going to keep the Baser or the Caretaker's Talent? I think the Caretaker's Talent is worth more over the long run. I mean, it might not matter, let's be honest. Wow. They flippin' love this Realm Scorcher, don't they? And I think, yeah, that'll be enough for them to kill Elspeth. If they want. Killing my... Yeah, I can see why they'd do that. I don't actually think it's the right thing to do, because now I just get to make more with Elspeth. So, like, it's the situation on the battlefield hasn't changed this way, but I still have Elspeth. So, let's play Caretaker's Talent. +1, then I get 2 cards. Really wanted an answer to the dragon there. Did not get one. So I could Birth and put Yorion in my hand. Doesn't solve my dragon problem, but I don't think I can solve that problem now. So, yep. Thin the deck. Give me some discard fodder. Put Yorion in hand. They get another go with their Realm Scorcher. Elspeth down. That's fine. So I'm drawing 3 cards in a minute, so that's good. Yeah, okay, if they're spending their turn doing this, I'm kind of alright with that. Fair enough. Okay. It's not bad. So, let's... how am I going to do this? Let's play Wedding Announcement. I think we'll play Elspeth number 2. It's 0, so I can protect her with my... Okay, that's fine. I'm going to say it's fine, it's not great. Let's make a copy of... Yeah, Elspeth doubling all my tokens is pretty good. Okay, block, double block. Fair enough. Elspeth's still standing. Yeah, they're certainly grinding through. I mean, I do like what they're doing here, but yeah, they're grinding through a lot of cards. I'm still holding my own at the moment. Okay. Well, it's +1 on Elspeth. Draw some cards. Okay, Battlefront's good. Caretaker's Talent's also good. Da-da-dum. Okay. Let's play Fountain Port. And we'll... fire off a Battlefront. See what we can get with this. Okay. Ossification. I think Seam Rip's good as well. So we'll use Seam Rip to... well, we'll ossify the Hellkite, Seam Rip the Disturbing Mirth. Okay, let's get another Caretaker's Talent down. Copy our 1/1. Actually, let's copy our 0/4. I can see what they're doing here. Yeah. I thought that triggered for some reason, and I was deeply confused. But with Elspeth still alive, we're in a reasonable spot, I think, here. I could have used Elspeth to destroy the dragon, but I think I preferred just getting the duck, because it's just worth so much value when you're making tokens with it. And protecting its loyalty a bit better. I think that, so yeah, I think it's worked out for the best. But I could see an argument for just playing it and using the -3. Oof. Well, that is a lot. Okay, they're not out of it yet, then. That temporary lockdown looks a lot better in this matchup than my Pinnacle Starcage does, doesn't it? Funny that. Yeah, no, they're probably ahead now. Because of that.
Your strikes are futile.
Now, if I can find an answer to the temporary lockdown, things might not be too bad. I don't think that's going to do it by itself. But what this can do is if I play Caretaker's Talent, follow it up with Wedding Announcement. And just blink all of these things. Okay, the opponent's not going down without a fight. That's fine, it'll come back again. Okay, okay. Well, land is nice, isn't it? So temporary lockdown here will take away... if I can take away the temporary lockdown somehow and get back 2 ossifications, yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. But I do actually need a way of interacting with it. I'm just not drawing them. Just drawing land instead. Okay, take these blocks. Go to 8. Can they kill me? I don't think they can. I don't think they've got quite enough land. Another restoration, sure, why not? And a Doom Foretold, okay. So I'll doom away my wedding announcement. It's the least relevant card here. Okay, Seal from Existence gets their temporary lockdown. So I think let's start with that. So I'll ossify the Hellkite, ossify the Seam Rip, the Bandit's Talent. Discard 2 lands. So they can hit me for 1. Yep, makes sense. Then I think we can fire up the... Let's add 10 white mana, fire up United Battlefront. No. Well, you're not the only one who can live like this. And we'll just make our tokens much bigger. Go to end step. Could have made a fish there. Maybe I should have done that instead. Oh, well, I've got plenty of things I could sack anyway. You've got 3 cards in hand. Okay. Sure, why not? Alright, we'll go to game 3 then, shall we? Put the other Day of Judgment in, it gets rid of their dragons in a way where they just don't come back. Trim, trim carrot cake or something. Yep. It's been a heck of a match. Can't fault the opponent that. They've been very persistent. Yep, keep a Baser. It's actually turning into a pretty damn good hand. I think I'll lose the Caretaker's Talent here. I don't love doing it, but I think it's the right move. just go super aggy on them, which is a technical term. Yep, bays are down. Okay. Okay, let's stick Yorion in hand. Maybe I'll just hold the Seam Rip for additional discard if I need it. Okay, that's fine. No, don't want another one. Okay, so I could get Yorion down here, which is probably fine. I don't really need to bounce anything. To blink anything, rather. Draw a card. Wedding announcement triggers. They lose their Hopeless Nightmare. That's actually fine. That is very fine. If they've got Shieldred's Edict, it's not so fine. But, you know, let's worry about that when it happens. It happened. My god, the opponents had everything. Just at exactly the right time every game. Okay, I'll play another wedding announcement. Well, is there any point? Well, I'd have to Seam Rip. Yeah, I could Seam Rip just to have something to sack. So I'll take away one of their bandits' talents. I'll play wedding announcement. I'll attack again. I could bring back another bandit's talent. It's pretty spicy. No, Hopeless Nightmare instead. Okay, well, I can live with that. Discard Field of Ruin. I see. It's just gonna be like that, isn't it? Sure, okay. Why not? Ah, those were three so frustrating matches. I mean, that was a good one. I enjoyed that one. It was very back and forth, but like, just the nonsense we have to deal with just in terms of the way our opponents drew. Yeah. No, all very annoying, but can't be helped. Yeah, as I say, this mono white deck. Other people have success with that. I just can't get it to work. I don't know. I don't know if it's something about the way I'm playing it or just it's not that good. I mean, I'd be interested to know what people have to say in the comments because yeah, I'm just terminally unimpressed by it whenever I play it. Yeah, and unfortunately, Pinnacle Starcage there, because of the matchups we had, just felt so bad. And I don't know if that's a fair reflection on it, just because like it's quite unusual that obviously you would come across opponents who cared so much about enchantments, unless you're playing like a mirror match, in which case kind of they're both bad. So yeah, it was a shame, I think, in some ways. It wasn't quick enough to deal with mono red, and then just folded completely when the opponent was playing stuff like enchantments. Yeah, that was a dispiriting run of matches, that, because I feel like the deck could have done better. But yeah, never mind. But yeah, here's the deck list one more time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and contribute to the coffee account if you can. Do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.